Since Spacies.
G'day invaders, welcome to Since Spacies, and for today's video I want to look back at consoles, a few consoles in particular. Now back there in the cupboard behind me there is a stack of consoles. I've had my fair share of gaming consoles growing up, and I think you guys watching, a lot of you have had more than one or two consoles in your time. And look, I know that when a console reaches a certain age the question comes up, when do we move on to the new system? And recently it got me thinking back on a few consoles that I think they died before their time, and I think that their potential didn't get truly reached, and they were not allowed to mature in the way that we wanted to see them mature. So what I'm getting at is free consoles that I think didn't show off their true potential, starting with the Mega CD. Now this is my original Mega CD. I bought this when working at Sega, and I got this on the staff discount. So hang on, there we go. Yeah, those guys. So I bought this before release date, actually, here in Australia. And so for those who don't know, this was an attachment that, oh my god, the box is warping. Anyway, this is an attachment that sat underneath the Mega Drive, and it allowed you to play CDs. There was that, and it also allowed you to see games with video footage for the first time, and it allowed for bigger games. And there wasn't really that many games that came out for this system. I think one game that really truly used CD capabilities before many of the other games did was Snatcher, and that's why that game is so sought after. And Sonic CD to a degree as well. That was a game that really used that format well, but it was getting to the point where we were just starting to see the potential of the system start to get used, and then it got phased out. So yeah, potential loss number one is the Mega CD. That's my first candidate for a system that ended before its time. For my next console that I think was ended before its time, and we never really got to see its true potential, the Dreamcast. This system, I just thought that it really, hang on if I can get the startup sound for it, there we go. Ah, oh, that sound. This was a system that seemed like it was doomed from the start, and it's such a shame because it was way ahead of its time. It was one of the first console to have inbuilt modem from the get-go. So it was designed for internet, hence the Telstra sign on there for internet. Dreamcast internet access. Yeah, that sticker, by the way, there's a story behind that. It only got put on the day before the actual launch of the system. It was so unorganized. But the controller, okay, the controller has its big weaknesses, the plug being at the bottom instead of at the top. Anyway, but the VMU, the little memory stick that goes in with its own internal screen, way ahead of its time. And also the fact that I think that the games on this system looked way better than anything else that was being put out at that time. Unfortunately, it couldn't get the third-party support that it needed, and then it just died a cruel early death. Really did not last well as long as a system. 1998 to I think it was 2002 or something around that era, and then it just died. Such a waste. So yeah, system number two for systems that didn't get to their potential is the Sega Dreamcast. And lastly, for the system that I think kind of got to its potential but not really, and I don't want to pick on Sega all the time, I think it's time now we turn the table to Nintendo. This thing, the game, I was going to call it the GameCube. No, the Wii U. The Wii U had huge potential to do well. It was the first console from Nintendo to truly use HD graphics. So there was a chance there to see a lot of these older games get revamped in HD and brought over to this system. But the big thing that really put a lot of people off I don't want to talk about why it failed. I want to talk about more so to the fact of why the potential was there that never got used, and that is the gamepad. The gamepad was its biggest feature and also, I guess, its biggest detriment. There was a few games that really used this feature well. Zombie U's probably the best example, along with the actual game that came packed in, which was Nintendo Land. It had a camera. It had gyro controls. Sorry. It also had a microphone and a camera on it, and all these features. And most games just went, screw that, we're not going to use it. And the second screen element. If you think that Breath of the Wild is an awesome game, and it is, imagine how much better it would have been if you were able to have your map on your screen in front of you at all times without having to pause the game and look where you are. You could just keep going, look and glance at the map down below and get on your way. Xenoblade Chronicles X did it, and they were going to do it with Breath of the Wild Wii U. But then Nintendo started seeing the writing on the wall that this system was just not selling at all. I would have liked maybe to see a slim model of this system get released. That would have probably have saved the system from the doom that it faced. But we never got it. We ended up with a Switch, which I guess is in a roundabout sort of way, a slimmed down game. Why did I keep going to call it a GameCube? It kind of got similar packaging. But yeah, that's my three consoles that I think had huge potential and just were ended way before their time. For bonus points, I would like to also point out the Sony Vita. That such a good console, had huge capabilities for a handheld. And Sony just did one or two decent games for it and went, yeah, no, we're not doing this. And then they just fell on it. I don't understand, to this day, I do not understand the logic behind releasing a console only for them to just on day one not support it. It just does not make sense. It's one of those huge mysteries that we'll probably won't find out about until another 20 or 30 years from now, why they did what they did with the Sony Vita. But I want to know, for you guys watching, down below, what was a console that you thought had huge potential and just got shat on? Let me know in the comments section down below. If you're watching this on Twitter, make sure you're following everyone that you see above me. There being a bunch of good eggs. And if you're watching this over on YouTube, give us a follow, give us a like, and comment down below. My name's been Brian. I've been gaming since... Oh, wait, no. Before I go, I did do a script for this on AI, and the AI chatbot suggested the most out there script talking about having a ghost from gaming past come by and talk to you, the viewer, about 3 consoles that died, and it was going to be like, I guess, a nightmare. A Christmas Story. It was such a bizarre thing. I'll try and see if I can share that in my Twitter account later. Just the amount of stuff you can do with AI chatbots now is just crazy. Anyway, my name's been Brian. I've been gaming since Spacies. Thanks, guys.
Since Spacies.